Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin. He's a member of the Homeland Security Committee and joins us from Capitol Hill. Senator, thank you so much for joining me this morning. I appreciate it.
Hello, Kristen. How are you doing?
Doing well. So President Obama is urging Republicans not to play politics with this emergency funding bill. You have expressed opposition to that $3.7 billion. Why not support it, given that you yourself have said that what's happening on the border is a crisis?
Well, because we need to really analyze what the root cause of the problem is. I've always said the best way to secure the border is to eliminate all the incentives we've created for illegal immigration. And so, listen, this is a crisis. I want to solve the problem. We need to show real compassion to these kids and these families that are here. But I'm also concerned about the kids that are still in Guatemala whose parents right now are making the decision or thinking about sending their kids on the very dangerous, very arduous journey. I think the best way to deter those parents from making that decision is very safely send those people back to their home, their country of origin. Let's face it, they were just there a couple of weeks ago. There are 7 billion people in this world. So many of them would like to come to America. It's not possible. So
Senator Johnson,
I'm really looking at the root cause of the problem, and spending $3,700 million is, making more housing, making it more welcoming for people to come here is not going to solve the problem. It's going to exacerbate the problem.
Let me challenge you on that point about addressing the root cause of this, because the emergency funds that the White House is asking for contains $300 million that is going to go to outreach to Central America. As you know, part of the problem is an uptick in violence and poverty in that region. So, again, why not support this measure, which does contain funds to deal with the root of this issue?
Do you think spending $300 million is going to alleviate poverty and violence in Central America? It's not. It's symbolic. We'd be far better off taking even $1,000 per person times 57,000. That'd be $57 million versus $3,700 million, and very safely return these people. And if we're going to spend money, let's spend it on the immigration services of those origin countries so that we know we are returning them to a safe environment. I'd far rather spend money building detention centers in Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras than here in America, because we continue then to create that incentive for people to keep coming. More parents are going to make that decision to put their kids on the beast, subject them to murder and rape. We've got to stop the flow. Our goal is to stop the flow. Building detention facilities, giving people a lengthy adjudication process is not going to stop the flow.
Let me ask you about some comments you made. You said, quote, "I've gone online, I've taken a look at orbits and taken a look at what does it cost to fly people to El Salvador and Guatemala and Honduras. You have fares as low as $207. There's nonstop flights for $450. Part of your argument for why that $3.7 billion might be elevated. But isn't that oversimplifying a really complicated issue to say you've gone on orbits and looked at plane flights?
No, it's trying to highlight the absurdity of what the president is requesting. $3,700 million when we could spend $57 million, $1,000 per person, and return people to their home of origin in a very compassionate, a very safe manner. In the president's request, he has $119 million for transportation within the U.S. I'm just pointing out how absurd government treats these funding mechanisms. They just throw money at the problem. They're not going to solve the problem. What I'm actually trying to do is take President Obama up in his offer. He's correct. We've got to expedite deportations. We want to help him with that. Senator John Cornyn will probably introduce that bill. Let's fix that problem. Let's stop the incentives. Let's eliminate the incentives for these parents sending their children in this country. And Kristen, another thing that we're not really talking about? So many of these unaccompanied children are teenage boys that just might be actually used by the drug cartel to set up networks here in the United States. We also have to take a look at this as a national security problem. And if we just, and this basically what we're doing is we're releasing these people in the general population, that's a real national security threat as well. So the best solution is returning them.
And one quick final thought on the point of returning them. Representative Cuellar going to potentially introduce legislation that would help fast-track deportations by changing that 2008 Bush law. Just to be clear, would you support that? Are you supporting what Representative Cuellar and John Cornyn are talking about introducing?
I want to see the specifics, but yeah, we should have expedited procedures. When people come here, they ought to know they're going to get sent right back in a very safe and very compassionate manner, but they're not going to be allowed to stay here. Parents need to understand, don't send your kids on that dangerous journey. They're just going to be coming back to you in a week or two.
All right.